Let's talk about trust issues. It's very common for people to struggle with trust issues when they're coming out of an unhealthy relationship. However, we also have to understand that if we're going to have healthy relationships in the future, regardless if we're talking about a romantic relationship or a healthy relationship with our friends and with our children, trust is a requirement. For a lot of people who say they have trust issues, they say that I struggle with even trusting myself. I struggle with trusting whether or not I'm making a right decision on the people that I trust because my trust was violated that badly by someone. It's a common saying that someone who struggles with trust issues has trusted someone too much at one point in time or another. So let's circle back. Let's talk about the person who broke your trust to that point that you struggle with trusting yourself and struggle with trusting other people. Let's talk about the beginning. Let's assume that this is a romantic relationship. Let's talk about the very beginning when you had this person on a pedestal where you thought this person's shit doesn't stink. You thought this person was your soulmate, right? Before all the bad things, before the abuse, before the cheating or whatever happened in the relationship. Back when you thought this person was walking on water, right? Sex was great. Dates were great. You thought this person was the image of perfection. You thought this was the one. When people start talking about that and they start talking about trust, I take them back to that point. Because as perfect as everything was, as great as the dates were, as great as the sex was, as great as everything was, there was something inside of you that said something's off. Right? Something happens, something was said, something was done, that as great as everything was, you said to yourself, I need to walk away. Now, let's roll that tape forward. Guess what? You were 100% correct. When we look back at the relationship, you were right. So the issue isn't that you can't trust yourself, it's that you actually should trust that instinct a lot more. The issue isn't that you can't trust yourself. The issue is that you need to begin to execute on the things that you actually already know. What more than likely happened is that you didn't want to be the villain. You didn't want to be the one to ruin a good thing, even though you knew internally that something bad was coming down the road. The issue is not that you can't trust yourself. The issue is that you did not execute on the trust that you already have for yourself. Think about that. If you're comfortable with it, comment down below. What was it that you experienced? What was it that you saw? What was it that you heard? That you ended up giving that person the benefit of the doubt, even though internally you knew that you needed to walk away.